of Kenyans electing William Ruto. The research also indicates Raila enjoys popularity in 5 regions, while Ruto is popular in central Kenya and the Rift Valley.
African Progress conducted between July 31st and August 1st shows the Raila Odinga Martha Karua presidential bid will win if elections are held today. According to the 2,900 respondents sampled, Raila, who's seeking presidency on an Azimio la Umoja One Kenya ticket, will get 53% of the votes, while Deputy President William Ruto, who's vying for the top seat on a United Democratic Alliance ticket, will get a 45%.
Somebody wants to know, well, who's the winner? Who's the winner? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Well, this survey actually indicated that Raila and Azimio will come out on top with a 53% of the vote. From the last poll done by Center for African Progress, Deputy President Ruto has not improved his position at all. He's still at 45%.
According to the poll, the highest voter turnout will be witnessed among the male gender at 98% compared to 93% female. 87% of youths between the age of 18 and 24 have indicated they will vote on August 9th.
97% of respondents are coming out to vote. They are interested in voting for the presidential candidate of their choice.
Zainab Said, Lunchtime News.
And still on matters touching on the poll, 2 Kilifi gubernatorial candidates have pledged to recover the economy of Kilifi County if elected governor on August the 9th. George Kithi, an advocate of the High Court, and Gideon Mungaro, a former chief administrative secretary in the Ministry of Lands, are both promising to uplift the tourism sector, saying it is the key economic pillar of the county. The two are seeking to succeed outgoing Governor Amason Jeffa Kingi, who is completing his second and final term in office.
The Kilifi gubernatorial race has intensified with just 6 days to the general election. George Kithi, a lawyer, and Gideon Mungare, former chief administrative secretary, are both traversing the county to win over the electorate to their respective camps. The two have pledged to recover the economy of Kilifi County. One elected as governor on August 9th, Kithi, who is eyeing the gubernatorial seat on a Pamoja African Alliance ticket, pledges to revive the ailing tourism sector, free education for residents, and revival of all collapsed industries.
Nataka kwamba kuimarisha utalii huko kwetu. Sisi tunapenda utalii, tunatupa kazi, tunatupa ajira. Basi watoto wa huko watasoma bure ili tuongeze nafasi za kazi. Na pia tutabuni kampuni, tuongeza ma-EPZ, tubuni kampuni, tutafufua mtambo wa korosho pale Kilifi na kuweka mtambo mpya wa nazi ili kwamba tuweze kuajiri vijana na wale ambao tunasomesha bure wakirudi kwa kwamba kuna miundo msingi ya wao kufanya kazi. Ni sawa si sawa?
On the other hand, Gideon Mungaro, who is the ODM candidate for Kilifi, says he has an elaborate plan to revamp the tourism sector.
Watalii wakianza kuja, vijana wengi watarudi kazini. Wakirudi kazini, wale watakaobaki na bodaboda watakuwa wakibeba hao kazini wakiwapeleka. Biashara itarudi. Kwa hivyo tuna mpango pia kufufua viwanda. Tuna mpango wa kujenga kiwanda cha nazi pale Mawe Mabomu pale Rabai.
Also in the race for the Kilifi County gubernatorial seat is Aisha Juma of United Democratic Alliance, Alphonse Zombo Mbaru of Safina Party, and Franco Esposito, a Kenyan of Italian origin, who is vying as an independent candidate.
And still on politics, a section of youth from Machakos University has vowed to remain peaceful regardless of who will be elected president. The 2 students have vowed to prevail upon their colleagues to avoid falling prey to divisive politics. The students have condemned political leaders who use the youth to instigate violence for their own personal interest. They have, in the meantime, urged all eligible Kenyans to turn out in large numbers on the 9th of August and vote for their leaders of choice.
Ikuwe ni shida, tutapitia sisi wote kama Wakenya. Akileta suluhisho, sisi wote tutapitia hiyo suluhisho, si ndio? Ndivyo. Yes. Na tumeteseka sana sisi kama wana youth katika hii Kenya yetu. Tunatumiwa vibaya, tunalipwa, tunaleta violence, tunapiga wenzetu. Then after elections unapata kwamba viongozi wanakaa kwa amani, viongozi wanakula pamoja, lakini mimi na wewe hatuwezi kula kwa pamoja kwa sababu unamunga mtu fulani mkono. Hiyo haifai kuwa katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tumetoka from 1963 ambapo tulipata uhuru. Imekuwa ni miaka mingi. Sisi kama comrades hatufai kuwa tunachukiana, hatufai kuwa tunaeneza chuki katika taifa letu la Kenya. Inafaa kuwa tunaeneza amani. Ujumbe ukuwe ni amani, amani, amani.
We have put our past afar to ensure that we are able to live with one another in a united manner. We are also people from different communities across this nation, and by preaching peace, we will be able to ensure that when these people return to their areas of residences, they are able to preach the same. Comrades, peace! Peace! Comrades, peace! Peace!
And from Machakos County, we now take a look at the news making headlines in other counties.
Speaking in Mombasa after touring Shimolatewa Prison, Chief Administration Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination, Winnie Gushu, said the sewerage treatment plant, to be constructed at a cost of 30 million shillings, will be located within a fenced area with CCTV cameras installed.
Because this being a maximum security prison, we must make sure that we keep as the project comes, our prisoners must be secure. The community, yes, will benefit. So how do we make sure that we secure the prison and we make sure that the community outside is preparing? So we have gone to site, we have established where it is going to be put up.
Elsewhere, residents of Mukima in Segera Ward, Laikipia County, are living in fear after 2 stray lions killed domestic animals in the village. The lions, believed to have strayed from Loldaiga Hills, have caused havoc in the village, killing 4 cows in 2 nights.
Tunaililia. Sasa hii kitendo imefanywa asubuhi, jana tena iliua ng'ombe ingine 2, juzi iliua tena ng'ombe ya mama mwingine. Sasa tunauliza tukio kama wazazi na wakaaji wa Mukema, tutafanya nini hili jambo serikali iingilie kati? Sababu tuko na watoto kwa shule. Sasa siku hizi hata watoto wanaendanga saa ile jua iko juu.
Elsewhere, Nyamira Deputy Governor Dr. James Gesami has challenged elected leaders to serve the electorate or opt out. Dr. Gesami was recently appointed to the position, vowed to assist the residents improve their economic welfare without discrimination.
I want to work with you in fulfilling your mission for Nyamira County, which includes improving health services, strengthening agriculture, provision of clean water, opening up of roads, and further developing county government services.
And residents of Mumbui Ward in Machakos County have benefited from a water project officially launched by the county government. Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Maliti said the project will improve the livelihoods of residents, as they will now enjoy fresh water for both domestic and commercial use.
Water project is part of the many water projects that we have commissioned in Machakos County to serve our people. So far, we have commissioned 670 bores in Machakos County.
Finally, Garissa County Health CC Robert Nuno has refuted claims that Northeastern Province Girls Secondary School has been closed over COVID-19 infection cases. Nuno said the health department will conduct mass testing in the school and 2 other Garissa Township schools to allay any fears from parents and guardians.
Moving on, Kiambu County Jubilee senatorial candidate George Mara has called out the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission for allegedly failing to conduct civic education among voters ahead of the 9th August 2022 general election. Mara also claimed that, unlike in previous elections, civil societies and other non-state actors were also not given the chance to educate voters. He alleges that first-time voters in Kiambu County feel that IEBC ought to have done more in training them on how to cast ballots.
That does not seem to have happened, but I want to believe that with what we have, most voters now are literate enough to be able to tell on who that they want to elect. So I believe where we are now, there's nothing else that can be done other than to just continue talking to our people, and especially from the candidate level, telling them who we are and how we want them to vote come the 9th of August.
Sisi kama candidates wakati tumekuwa tukiomba kura, tumekuwa tukielimisha wapiga kura ya kwamba ballot itakuwa namna hii, mimi nitakuwa namba hii, na wakati ambapo unapiga kura unafaa kuweka tiki yako pahali unafaa kuweka, uweke vizuri ili isikue ya kupotea. Na tumekuwa tukiwaelezea ya kwamba lazima tuweke amani siku ya kupiga kura.
Education matters to some more politics, and for that we cross over to the Western Kenya, where Azimio One Kenya Coalition have intensified their campaigns in that region and are currently at the Bukungu Stadium. They are expected to host a political rally. We have our very own Wycliffe Okech, who is keeping a keen eye on that and brings us this report. Wycliffe?
Thank you so much, Bentro NjueII back in Nairobi. We are, of course, coming to you live from Bukungu Stadium in Kakamega County. It is only 3 days remaining until the official campaign window is shut. The window will be shut on Saturday, and now that means the leading political coalitions must put their best foot forward to ensure that they garner as much ground as possible and convince as many voters as possible. And today, Odinga, who is the Azimio la Umoja presidential flag bearer, is actually leading campaigns in Western Kenya. Right now, as we speak, he is in Tesono, that is in Busia County. Earlier on, he started with a campaign rally in Budalangi, where beside explaining the agenda, beside unpacking the agenda that he has for the country, he actually said that now that we only have about 5 days until the general election, that his presidency may not materialize if the locals there will not come out in their numbers and back him up. You know that this Western region, in the last going by the last 2 election cycles, it has been voting for Odinga, but then now the resulting dynamics whereby the Ford Kenya party leader Moses Wetangula and his ANC counterpart Musalia Mudavadi now join forces with William Ruto. That means the other, the what they carried with them a section or rather a good number of voters there, and that is what Odinga is actually trying to wrestle back to his Azimio coalition. And right now, with only 5 days left, it is all about mobilizing the voters to come out and vote. And just right now, before I delve more deeper into this, let me just involve the Kakamega County presidential Azimio presidential campaign coordinator here, Simbaoni Ndube, to just tell us what strategies that the Azimio actually put in place to ensure that the voters here come out in their numbers and actually vote for the Azimio coalition. Simbaoni, we are live on KBC Lunchtime News. You are the Azimio presidential coordinator in Kakamega County.
Yes.
And right now we are talking about mobilization.
Yes.
As the coordinator, what are some of the strategies that you people are putting in place to ensure that every registered voter is actually voting for you people?
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this chance. First, I want to take this opportunity to really welcome everyone, especially in this Malembe Nation, to Bukungu Stadium. This is a mega rally, the last for Baba Raila Amolo Odinga and Martha Karua and the whole Azimio team. And for me, really, I'm very excited because I can tell you this Bukungu Stadium is going to swell, and we'll be filling it to the brim.
All right. Maybe just go straight to the point and tell us maybe what are some of the strategies that you guys are putting in place to ensure maybe the registered voters will back Azimio?
Yeah, thank you. What we are now doing is we are actually ensuring that we go to every polling station, and we have our polling station champions who are going to ensure that our supporters really turn up, because turnout is very, very important to us. As I've always said, we must end up with a very, very high turnout. We really want to hit a minimum of 95% turnout. If anything, I really personally want to make it 100%. So we are focusing the polling station. We have all the champions whom we are working very closely with. We have all the candidates whom we are working with. And we have, of course, at the end of the day, some of the influencers that we believe are going to help in ensuring that all our supporters come to the polling station. And please, I really want to take this opportunity to still appeal that Baba the Fifth is the best, and we are going to form the government so that we are able to bring the right development to this country.
Thank you so much. Ben, that is the Azimio Presidential Coordinator here in Kakamega County. And right where we are, it is Bukungu Stadium, that is in Kakamega County here. And like I mentioned, it's no longer just about making promises and actually explaining the agenda to the electorate. It is now about mobilizing the electorate to come out in their numbers next Tuesday, actually to vote for their preferred candidates here. And just like I mentioned, Odinga right now is in Busia. He started with a campaign in Budalange, went to right now is in Teso North, and right after that he will be coming straight here to Bukungu Stadium, and actually he will be joined by his running mate Karua, who is actually leading other meetings in Tanzania County and another meeting in Bungoma. That shows you the concerted effort that the Azimio presidential team that is actually putting in place to ensure that they recover as much ground as possible and convince as many voters as possible. From today, from Bukungu Stadium, Odinga will be going to Vihiga tomorrow, and before a final rally in Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium in Kisumu before this official window campaign closes on Saturday. But we will be keeping tab and monitoring every remarks here, and we'll bring that comprehensively in our subsequent bulletin. But for now, let me hand it back to you so that we continue with the rest of the bulletin. Ben.
Stadium where Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition is expected to hold a mega rally there. Speaking to the coordinator, one thing I've been able to pick up is that they want to rally voters to come out in large numbers, a minimum of 95% of all the Mulembe vote, as the coordinator has said there. Of course, from there, as Wycliffe has said, they will be headed to Kisumu for a series of rallies as well. We are keeping a keen eye on the same. We're also keeping a keen eye on the Kenya Kwanza campaign rally, which today is supposed to be in the county of Kirinyaga. We're keeping our eyes peeled for that and a more comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletin. And from Bukungu, we go to county number 14, that is the county of Embu, where NjueII artisans and technical institutions in Embu County have been challenged to find a working formula to ensure they benefit from one another. Speaking in Embu during the handover of machines to Embu Municipality, the Director of Micro and Small Enterprise Authority, Engineer Edward Karani, said technical institutions will examine and award certificates of recognition to NjueII artisans who register for the exams. According to the proposals, players in the NjueII sector will also offer industrial attachment to students. Karani has, in the meantime, cautioned the mechanics against engaging in political violence, urging them to preach peace for the benefit of their businesses.
Lakini hauambiani customer hivyo. Unanyamaza kwanza. So, ni vizuri sana hiyo uhusiano yenye tunaona kwa industry na kenye inatendeka kwa technical institution, to create that relationship, visit each other openly.
Na la muhimu ukienda kupiga kura, tungekusihi piga kura kwa kuangalia maisha yako na ya watoto na vizazi vijavyo.
In other news, parents have been urged to educate their children on the risk of early pregnancies and HIV/AIDS to reduce the rate of infections among the teenagers. Health experts are warning that without proper guidance, teenagers will remain susceptible to the virus.
300,320 teen pregnancies were recorded last year in the country. This is according to a report by the Ministry of Health. A sensitization campaign has been conducted in Makueni County to enlighten residents on the risks of early pregnancies, HIV/AIDS and gender-based violence.
Katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, they carry the highest burden ya gender-based violence. Watoto wetu wanadifailiwa, si ni ukweli? Tumesikia kwa redio, kwa TV, mtoto wa miezi 3, wa miezi 6, wa miaka 3, miaka 9, miaka 12 amenajisiwa na kubakwa na watu wazima. Ni ukweli si ukweli? Mmesikia hiyo? Ama wakati nitoka Makueni huko hii iliisha? Hiyo iko. Unasikia mtoto mdogo, mtoto wa miaka 12, mtoto wa miaka 10 amebakwa na mzee wa miaka 70. Aibu. Aibu kubwa. So ni lazima tujiulize wazazi, how do we stop this?
Director of Medical Services, Preventive and Promotive Health, Dr. Andrew Mulwa, says there is a need to fight the threats even as perpetrators are put on notice.
Is that the perpetrators are well known because this is documented. And one is that we know that almost 42% of those sexual and gender-based violence, the perpetrator are strangers. They are people who are not known to the adolescents. Then when we look at those people who are known to the adolescent or the young people, we know that around 14% is people that they call friends. And these are the people who violate them and they subject them to sexual and gender-based violence.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
At about 7 minutes to 2, we are due for our first break. Let's have that break. But when we come back, we'll run you through a couple of more stories. Then we will be looking at the world of sports. Don't go away.
The 2022 Commonwealth Games will be hosted in Birmingham, United Kingdom from the 28th of July through the 8th of August 2022. Team Kenya is set to make its 17th appearance at the Games. Kenya will contest for medals in several disciplines, among them athletics, boxing, hockey, rugby, weightlifting, wheelchair basketball and parasport, among others. Watch the Games live on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
But did I lose my babies?
Only one of them. That's why you felt sick and you woke up all bloated.
Don't ever do that, Adrian. Do you think I'm so helpless that I won't be able to earn a living for myself? No.
I don't even know how to approach you. I've forgotten you for many years. Please.
Go away.
We need numbers.
And I'm sure Dad is not supposed to find out about this.
No, not in this life.
How would you like coming to work here at JNJ?
Is Kathy in agreement with all of this?
I'm not answerable to her.
Why don't you want the same thing as your mother? How do I trust you?
I'll help you the board members.
How?
I'll call them one by one.
I may want to hire your cousin.
Wewe nakutambua.
Baadaye.
Juu hasa umepataka hiyo kazi, utanipatia 20%.
Kio hii, usisemage mimi huwa sikujegi.
Wewe, usifanye nikuwe tena wewe. Mimi nimepataka nikitaka kutoka ni sherehe kazi.
Must he be here?
Alafu utaniachia mlango, mimi nitafunga after meeting.
Both of you are going to have a baby soon. Genova is here too. The king won't do anything to you.
What are you doing here?
You gave up your future for a woman. You've disappointed me.
Echoes fan.
Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News. We do appreciate you keeping us company. Let's move on. The government has assured Kenyans that the process leading to the pronouncement of the 9th of August poll results will be tamper-proof. ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Mucheru says the government has invested heavily in security to uphold the integrity and the conduct of the polls.
ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Mucheru has assured the country that the general elections will be free and fair. Speaking during a consultative meeting with mobile network providers and the Editors Guild, Mucheru said the government has put in measures to ensure that the integrity and the transparency of the results are beyond reproach.
The security teams have worked very hard to ensure that we're protecting our network in those areas, and the MNOs have been working with us. So again, those places are covered. We also have directed that the networks, no more upgrades or improvements, that we hold. This means people should not be digging up to bring cables and so on during this time, so that we minimize any network outage. Protecting the infrastructure, that is being done for the election already. So we have both the police and even KDF in certain areas, ensuring that those towers are protected.
At the same time, the ICT Cabinet Secretary urged the media to play its role and ensure it relays accurate information, even as he allayed fears that the internet might be shut.
And we will make sure that if there is any fake tallies, those are going to be dealt with. I think that is what is important. If it's not from IEBC, then of course it will be dealt with. If people are bringing in misinformation, fake news, if they are coming up with their own new stations and so on, those will be dealt with. Because again, security in our country is paramount.
Mobile telecommunication service provider Safaricom assuring the country that it has put in place measures to ensure no one will interfere with vote transmission during the 9th August elections. Safaricom Chief Executive Officer Peter Ndegwa said the telco company is keen on providing the right services during the polling process as required by the law.
It is secure. And we have bank-grade security because we drive a lot of M-Pesa. So I think that's all you should be aware, that no one can interfere with the content that's being transmitted when we are transmitting it to IEBC. We will play to the best of our ability. We have an infrastructure that is robust and one that cannot be interfered by people unless physically, in which case we'll address any physical interference, whether that's power or any other element. So I think that I just want to reassure you, we are a neutral party. We want the tallying, or rather, we want the transmission to happen in an appropriate way.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
And away from politics and campaigns, let's now do sports. Kenya bagged silver and bronze medals last night at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, UK, after Daniel Simiyu and Kibiwot Kandie finished second and third, respectively, in the 10,000 meters final. Isaac Lemoka is in Birmingham, and he has filed the following report.
Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda spoiled the party for the Kenyan trio of Daniel Simiyu, Kibiwot Kandie and Edward Zakayo, who were aiming a 1-2-3 podium finish to break the Commonwealth Games record in a time of 27 minutes 09.19 seconds to clinch second gold for Uganda. Daniel Simiyu posted a personal best time of 27 minutes 11.26 seconds for a second spot, as Kibiwot Kandie settled for third after clocking 27 minutes minutes, 20.34 seconds personal based. Edward Zakayo came in a distance fourth in 27 minutes, 34.03 seconds. In the 400 meters hurdles, Weissman Were Muhobe and William Mbevi Mutunga both qualified for the finals after finishing first and third respectively in their respective heats. Elsewhere, the Kenya women hockey national team bid farewell to the competition with a 15-0 defeat to South Africa as Muqtadir Nimji cruised to the finals of the men's squash competition after edging out Sean Simpson of Barbados 3-0. Today, Christine Ongare will square it out with Canadian Priyanka Dillon in the quarterfinals of the over 45 and 48 kgs boxing competition. The match will start at 4 p.m. Kenyan time. From Birmingham, United Kingdom, my name is Isaac Lemoka.
Thanks, Lemoka, for that. Home, various karate clubs in Nairobi County have started their training in preparation for the Nairobi Karate Tournament set to be held next month at the NjueII National Stadium. The tournament will be the first ever karate competition to be held here in Nairobi after the COVID-19 pandemic.
Speaking after the training organized at the Pumwani Social Hall, Nairobi County Karate Association Chairman Daniel Otieno said that the federation has been facing financial problems and asked for help from well-wishers and stakeholders as they hope to spread the sport in all parts of the country.
The tournament will be a 2-day event actually, and it's going to be big at a tournament where we are going to feature children. We are going to feature 14 years, 16 years, 18 years, 23 years plus. That means even 55 years is going to play.
Otieno also explained that plans to organize the first competition after coronavirus pandemic here in Nairobi later this year are ongoing. The officials also say that they are planning to organize more tournaments to make the game more popular in Nairobi County.
We have brought a sense of security and safety within this area because of karate. As you know it, karate has no age limit. Anybody can join karate. Even at 60, 70, 80, you can be a good karateka. It is good for your health benefit. And we have people who train here who are over 70. And they act young.
Karate clubs in Nairobi have already resumed training after the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted all sporting activities in the country last year. For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
English Premier League side Chelsea FC has agreed to sign Aston Villa midfielder Kane Chukwuemeka for £20 million. The 18-year-old midfielder was left out of Villa's pre-season tour of Australia after refusing to sign a new contract which was to expire next summer.
Chelsea have reached an agreement to sign Kane Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa. Chukwuemeka, who starred for England in the Under-19 European Championship triumph last month, made 12 Premier League appearances for Villa last term. He becomes Chelsea's third signing of the summer. Elsewhere, Fulham have signed German goalkeeper Bernd Leno from Arsenal on a 3-year deal.
Now, over the signing of their goalkeeper Bernd Leno.
The 30-year-old lost his place to England. The 30-year-old lost his place to England. The 30-year-old lost his place to England goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale last season, playing only 9 games. In all, he kept 37 clean sheets in 125 appearances in all competitions for Gunners. After arriving from Bayer Leverkusen for €20 million in 2018. Leno becomes Fulham's 5th summer signing since the club earned promotion back to the Premier League.
And from the UK to the US, where British number 1 Emma Raducan's preparations to defend her US Open title got underway with a first round win of Luisana Chirico in Washington. The 19-year-old won the game, by straight sets to earn her first victory of the North American hardcourt season. The world number 10 will face Colombia's Camila Osorio in the Washington Open second round as she continues to build up to the year's final Grand Slam, which begins on 29th of August. Meanwhile, Britain's Dan Evans secured his place in the third round with a 2-0 victory over compatriot Kyle Edmund, and will now face America's Taylor Fritz or Australian Alexia Popyrin.
To seal the opening set for Dan Evans.
And I mean back home, right here at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Faithful, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation held interdenominational prayers ahead of the August 9 general election. The corporation's acting managing director, Samuel Maina, said the prayer session aimed at seeking forgiveness, guidance, wisdom, and protection from God during and beyond the electioneering period.
The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation family on Wednesday held interdenominational prayers for the corporation staff and management as we head to the elections. KBC is sending news teams to all the 290 constituencies for the August 9th general election. The KBC family has also had its up and downs in line of duty, and it was thoughtful for the staff to hold interdenominational prayers.
Tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu atupe amani na maendeleo, na tupite hii election insha Allah na atupe amani na maendeleo, na tunaombea afya na salama wafanyakazi wa KBC na viongozi wa KBC. Amin.
The acting managing director, Samuel Maina, said there is need for the organization to seek divine guidance, wisdom, and protection.
The fire we experienced here behind in our canteen, there were about 4 cylinders of gas behind the canteen. But those gas cylinders did not explode. If those gas cylinders exploded, we will not have this institution. But Mungu alisema hii moto ikae hapa canteen. That is God. That is God. Because I was here, and when I went and saw those cylinders, I said, gosh, how kind can you be? How loving is our God for this institution?
A prayer, and the prayer of all of us who are gathered here, is that this process will be peaceful. We shall conduct ourselves professionally. And for this, we can only but ask for the grace of our Lord. May the Lord cover us with his precious blood.
The board's chairman, Benjamin Maingi, said the gesture should transcend the August elections.
We all know and are anxious of our institution, KBC. Every institution has its own issues, and it is good that we realize that whenever we have problems or we have issues, we would seek the intervention of God.
In the homily, the faithful were urged to love one another at all times and be there when called upon.
When we operate together in tandem, when we function together, then the body is able to fulfill its purpose. And I believe even for you here at this lovely corporation, as you function together as a unit. In fact, there's a scripture that says where people dwell together in harmony, God commands a blessing.
Irene Mchuma Udim, the Lunchtime News.
Allow me to re-echo the words of my seniors there. In one way or the other, just let's seek divine intervention, not only for the general election, but for the country as well. And from right here at Broadcasting House, we now cross over to Lanet, where we are expecting the head of state to officially launch a National Defense University. We've been having our reporter Beatrice Gatonye-Ngetich since morning to update us on the current situation. Beatrice, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ben Troy Njue from the studio. I'm coming to you live from Kenya Military Academy in Lanet, Nakuru, where President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to arrive here and inaugurate the National Defense University that is based here. This university acquired its university status last year in May after President Uhuru Kenyatta awarded it a university charter. And since then, there has been a lot of processes, a lot of building of infrastructure here to make it become a functional university. In March this year, this university admitted its inaugural students, and a total of 446 students from Kenya and internationally are currently undertaking their studies here. And President Uhuru Kenyatta, if you can see the building behind me, that is the main building of this university, and he will be unveiling that building, and he will be taken through to see different sections that have been put in place. And apart from that, this university is premiered by colleges that are linked to the national security agencies, including Kenya Defense Forces and Kenya Intelligence Services. During its 24th celebrations, graduation ceremony, Chief of Defense Forces Robert Kiboshi said that awarding this university a charter to become a university was going to enrich the forces' human resource and also enrich the regional integration, considering that students from internationally are also studying here. So what is happening right now is that President Uhuru Kenyatta will be arriving here, and he will be officially launching this university that has already started its operations, and after the inauguration today, it will undertake full operations of a university. So, Ben Troy, what I can tell you right now is that all processes and everything is set here, just waiting for the head of state to arrive here so that he can officially inaugurate this university that is already in operation, and police officers, mostly security officers, are currently undertaking their studies here. These we are talking about undergraduate and even masters, that they will be able to access those kind of education, that kind of education here. This is at Kenya Military Academy here in Lanet, Nakuru, and shortly the head of state will be arriving here to officially inaugurate this institution. So I'll be bringing you more once the event begins, and now I take you back to the studio. My name is Beatrice Getonyang-Etich.
Thank you so much, BT, for that report live from the National Defense University in Lanet, Nakuru County, where we are expecting the head of state to officially inaugurate that learning institution. As BT has put it, is that it was given a charter way back in last year, and so far it has been able to give lessons and courses, including masters when it comes to matter security. It is a partnership, she said, by all the state agencies, including the Kenya Defense Forces and also the National Intelligence Service. He will be coming a little bit later, and we will be crossing over as soon as the head of state makes his way to that occasion. In other news, Embu senatorial aspirant Norman Nyaga has vowed to sponsor a law in the Senate, if elected, to bar governors who have served their terms from running for the Senate seat. According to Nyaga, the governors are likely to interfere with smooth running of the county business should issues of integrity, conflict of interest, and audit of the accounts for previous regime arises.
Senatorial candidate Norman Nyaga met with supporters of Azimio la Umoja who have thrown their weight behind his candidature.
If I go to Parliament, I will, at the earliest opportunity, is to bring up a law that anybody who has played the role of a governor should never ever step down for a seat of a senator, because you are basically going to hide the ills that you have created. And there is no other reason
Nyaga, a former Kamukunji member of parliament, says most county governments face integrity issues and should not be allowed to take part in county business. Nyaga is expected to battle it out with, among others, the incumbent Senator Njeru Ndwiga vying as an independent candidate, sitting Governor Martin Wambora vying on Umoja na Maendeleo Party, Embu County Deputy Governor David Kariuki of United Democratic Alliance, and Democratic Party's Alexander Mundigi. Meanwhile, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance team has intensified its campaigns across Kajiado County in an effort to woo voters into the Raila-led coalition. Kajiado Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, who is seeking a re-election, urged residents to turn out in large numbers to vote for Raila Odinga Martha Karua ticket. Elsewhere, members of the Gare community in Isiolo County have resolved to rally their support behind businessman Mwenda Thuranira for the Isiolo North parliamentary seat, terming him a philanthropist.
Kwa sababu ya maendeleo ambayo yeye bado ingia kwanza na tuonesha kama ni maendeleo ya shule, kama ni mahali mwingine saa hii inasunguka na tuonesha kazi.
Yeye ni mtu wa maendeleo, mtu wa kusaidia watu.
Gara community elders led by Adan Ahmed Abdullahi, Yusuf Bilo and Isaac Adan say the candidate has already shown good leadership and goodwill in improving the welfare of people. Mwenda, who is vying on a Party of National Unity ticket, is battling it out with 15 other candidates, among them incumbent Member of Parliament Hassan Oda, who is seeking the seat on an independent candidate, nominated Senator Halahe Abshiro of Kanu, and former Member of Parliament Joseph Samal of Jubilee. Kamche Menza for Lunchtime News.
And still on matters touching on the pause, we now cross over to the industrial area right here in the capital Nairobi, where IEBC is currently touring the National Warehouse for the 2022 election. And I can see Commissioner Wandera talking there. Let's first of all listen in.
Ballot papers are the constituencies. We have distributed 368 ballots of senator ballot papers. The women rep, we have distributed 410. Member of Parliament, 439 ballots. County Assembly member, 472. The total number of ballots distributed so far is 2,053. And these cover 35 counties and 216 constituencies. I'll just mention where those materials have gone to in the county in terms of counties. Mombasa, we have sent it to Shangamwe, Jomvu, Kisauni, Nyali, Likoni, and Muvita. Kwale, Msabweni, Lungalunga, Matuga, Kinango. I think this is a long list, so I was just going to read the counties. We have sent some to Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, Taita Taveta, Garissa, Wajir, Mandela, Marsabit, Isiolo, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Embu, Kitui, Kiambu, Turkana, West Pokot, Samburu, Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Machakos, then we have Nyandarua, then we have Kirinyaga, yes, Vihiga, Bungoma, Then you have Busia, Siaya, Baringo, Laikipia, Nakuru, Narok, Kajiado, Kericho, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii. Those are the areas where some of the ballot materials have already been dispatched to. We still have, so far, we have distributed about 60% of the ballot papers that have been received here. And you are continuing to do this exercise. And our last day to make sure they get to the place is on 6th. By 6th, all the materials will have reached, all the ballot papers will have reached to their destination. I think so. I think that is the status of the distribution of ballot papers. And if there is any question, we'll entertain a few questions from you.
Commissioner, a pallet contains how many ballot papers so that we are able to know?
Okay, the normal size of a pallet will carry about 54 boxes. 54 boxes. However, depending on the number of the registered voters in a particular place, some pallets are smaller than others, but we consider them as pallets as well. Yeah. Yes?
My question is, will Form 34A be pinned at the entrance of the polling station, and how will this be done?
Form?
34A.
Copy.
Yes,
a copy of the Form 34A. Yes, it will be pinned at the polling station, and we agreed with the political parties, because we are going to distribute, particularly in the areas where all the presidential candidates have an agent. We will not have an extra Form 34A. So, IBC will look for a way of getting a photocopy of the original, which they have taken, and pin it at the polling station. However, in areas where all the presidential candidates do not have agents, we shall have a copy of the carbonated copy to be pinned at the door of the polling station.
A follow-up. According to your reply to Azimio in today's publication, you said that the RO will take a photo of that form. So then after that, it means that that photo that has been taken must be printed. Have you supplied printers to those areas where this will be done?
I think we want to say that that's the responsibility of IBC to look for how it is going to get a copy and pin it. And that is what we agreed with the political parties. Yes. And you shall be able to do that.
So as that process kicked off?
It is not going to kick off. It's going to kick off after we have counted. Form 34A is done after we have counted the votes, entered the form, candidates, agency registered, our officials register, sign the form. Once that is done, that is the time that process will kick off.
That's the time you look for printers.
We have printers in every county and in every constituency. We have printers and photocopiers. Yes.
But my question is not, Nicholas Delay from CAS, my question is not related to the distribution of materials.
Yes?
Yesterday we saw the government, through the Ministry of Interior, deploy security officers to various parts of this country. And it was more specific and heavy on two counties, Nakuru and Western Gishu. The purpose of your press briefing every day is to at least to show the transparency. However, in the few days that have gone, we've seen how politicians have conducted themselves specifically the presidential candidates. Tension has been rising, including the leaflets, threat leaflets that have been left in Uasin Gishu. On that note, there are three concerns that generally maybe we journalists and even their stakeholders, the nation, might not have received a substantial response from your end. One, when the first batch of the ballot papers arrived, there was a concern that some commissioners were not aware. We put that question before you. And then again came the Venezuela thing. The commission exchanged letters of concern with the DCI. Eventually, the response that came from the commission was, we have just sorted that. But the Kenyans who read the letters were not availed with exact agreement or how that was solved, especially the parties that were arrested. Did IBC or does IBC still confirm that these were their people, they were partners, and when the solution was reached, was it that these people were deported back or they remained in the office as part of your partners? And the most recent concern is the clip that we brought to your attention, Madam Commissioner, from the Bomas, that of Junet Mohammed, and you say it is being investigated. To us, this could be so critical that it can be building a case for null and void after the process. How do you respond to these details as you help the nation do away with the tension?
Okay, let me respond to one, she will respond to the other, and maybe she can also respond to the other. First and foremost, we are not revisiting the issue of the DCI and the Commission. The matter is sorted, and you are working together towards the security and the transparency in delivering the election. That is okay. The issue of deployment of security in certain areas, that is to facilitate the election. And the IG himself confirmed that we are working together. It is the responsibility of the security arms of this government to monitor what is happening in any area of this country and they decide what level of security is required there. It is not the work of IBC. So we will not be able to answer the details of that question. But we are supposed to deliver election in a free and secure manner. I think I would want Madam Vice Chair to respond to something which you have said.
Okay. For the clip that you talked about, I think it was on Monday. Yes, as a communication department of IBC, we monitor what is being thrown in the social media and we classify them accordingly. So some of those clips needs to be investigated and that is it. So for now, I don't have more information about that clip for Junet, but indeed, as IBC, we flag out everything that is being thrown on social media. And on Monday, I said something very important, that for us, IBC, any communication that is coming from us is from us or from the chairman of IBC, who is the spokesperson of the commission. Then we are also heavy on our social media pages. We are heavy on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So kindly, Kenyans, get information that is legit from IBC pages and from us, the commissioners or our chair. Thank you.
Yes, I want to add on the issue of security. Remember, we are partnering with other government institutions. One of them is the security team through the IG. IG is providing 2 police officers per polling station. And remember, we have 46,223 polling stations. So you say times 2. And then there are those escorting materials also. We have trained these officers and we request, and we cannot do this work alone. The officers we require are those who will be within the polling station and the marked area. But remember, the government also has to see security outside the marked area of the polling station. And that's the mandate of inspector of police. So where there are concerns anywhere in this country, that's their mandate and they are supposed to look at that. But that's a question which IPC cannot answer. That will be answered by Commissioner of Police. On ballot papers, that some commissioners were not aware, every one of us were aware about the arrival. That's why you saw some of us in the airport. You've seen some of us have gone to Venezuela. So we are aware, all of us, and we are working together as a team. Chris. And on the issue of Venezuela, that one we sorted out. Everything is with us. We've done our work. So, and we had a meeting with the IG, which you were present, and I think you were briefed accordingly. Thank you.
Yes. Another question? Yes.
Regina Manyara from Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. What is the value of the contract that you have proposed to deliver the election?
That's just a section of IEBC leadership there. We've had Francis Wanderi, who is a commissioner there. We've also heard from the vice chairperson of IEBC, that is Juliana Cherera, on the ballot transportation and the latest in terms of election preparedness. They have insisted that of all the over 46,000 polling stations will have at least 2 police officers. They have talked about the logistics that they are currently having in terms of distribution of poll materials that they say they intend to have wrapped it up by the 6th of August, just 3 days to the general election. And on that note, that is where we wrap it up. Thank you indeed so much for joining us on KBC Lunchtime News. My name is NjueII, and Caro Njoroge has been our sign language interpreter for these live newscasts. Thank you so much. Of course, you can check out these stories plus much more on all our social media spaces, including our website. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed afternoon.
Just to get a little bit of rest and recovery. It'll help them get over the technical sections a bit safer. They won't want any mechanical problems or take any risks, the 2 New Zealanders. They're sitting comfortably in gold and silver medal position at the moment. So Sam Gaze, now that he has that gap, he'll try and be particularly careful in the technical sections.
Here we go. Disley down safely. Sam Gaze just risks a little look up to see how far behind his teammate Ben Oliver is. And the answer is, well, quite a long way. Oliver only now on Rocky Road and only now coming to Disley. Well, it felt inevitable that this point in the race would come, and it was inevitable. This is where it happened. Sam Gaze just applying an extra notch of pressure there, and Ben Oliver, at this point you can see there how his position on the bike changes. He realises he's not got it in those legs to get back. In the meantime, this is a replay of Charlie Aldridge having to just hang the rear mech over the frame and wearily push the bike towards a section where he can start to freewheel and get himself down and take a seat while the mechanics get to work.
Devastating, and you're replaying that crash in his mind, how he could have avoided that. It was at a time where he was trying to establish his break and secure his bronze medal behind the 2 New Zealanders.
Joe Blackmore Those two riders now, third and fourth on the riders. Cameron Orr, almost like they're watching a different rider now, the man from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Just the freshness and a reinvigorated shape about him on the bike. And it's all because of the misfortune that has befallen this man, Charlie Aldridge. That was actually a mechanic from Team England who was helping out there, so a bit of solidarity in the tech zone as well.
Well, it's Cameron Orr versus Joseph Blackmore for the bronze medal. If nothing happens out front with the two New Zealanders, you see they're under pressure but staying calm. There may be a point where Aldridge decides not to complete. He's only got that 80% buffer as well until they pull them out of the race.
It's a not uncomplicated repair, that, is it?
A bit of work
Rochelle.
to do. But
it's the sort of thing, if you took that to your local bike shop, they'd say, yeah, pick it up week on Thursday. we might have it done by then.
Oh, this is unbelievable watching Cameron Orr now compared to seeing him on the last couple of laps. What a boost of energy he's got, knowing that bronze medal is very possibly going to go his way. He is certainly a different rider to watch.
Completely turning the tables on young Joe Blackmore now. The man from Matlock in Derbyshire, which is not too far from here up in the Peak District. That's where he does his training and riding. Yeah. Joe Blackmore's under pressure, you can tell. Just the fatigue. Those arms are tensing up a little bit with Joe Blackmore, but much more fluid riding from Cameron Orr. 23 years of age. This is his second Commonwealth Games. He finished in 8th place in the Commonwealth Games 4 years ago in Gold Coast. Recent silver medalist in the British National Cross Country Championships as well.
See Cameron Orr there just taking it a little bit safer across the rocks there than Joseph Blackmore. He's got it all to lose and gain.
Well, he was highly fancied in this competition, Cameron Orr, so there's no surprise in that sense. He went into the race as one of the favourites for a medal of some colour, but what's surprising about this is the psychological difference, the effect that glint of metal, the medal prospect has completely reinvigorated Cameron Orr, and from nowhere he's found some form that looks at the moment like it might dispense with Joe Blackmore. In the meantime, at the front of the race, two lone New Zealand riders separated by a really substantial gap on the course.
And both playing it very, very safe. Sam Gaze, he's got the form to play it safe, and if somebody comes close to him, he can hit a new level, but it's Ben Oliver that just needs to keep an eye out for the riders behind him. And Sam Gaze comes through the finish straight looking very, very strong. We'll see him apply pressure to the pedals and try and open up his gap when it's not so technical. Clearly the strongest rider in the race, Sam Gaze. He's riding his way towards a gold medal. He has completed 6 of 8 laps, 2 laps to go for the New Zealander.
Very impressive ride from Sam Gaze, really is. It's average speed on this course, and we said it was a fast one, 25.179 kilometres an hour on a mountain bike through the woods here in Cannock Chase. That is shifting some. Fully focused, Ben Oliver, on that silver medal. Won't be wishing misfortune on his teammate, of course, Sam Gaze, but he'll know that it's never over in cross-country racing until you've crossed the line for the final time. Down this series of 3 steps now, Sam Gaze.
Yeah, you can just see how much easier they're taking these technical sections, taking no risks at all now that the medals are somewhat decided out on the road.
Lovely section of berms there. Those bank corners takes them in a sweeping, very relaxed fashion now.
Well, this is where the big race is for the bronze medal.
Absolutely. Here's Ben Oliver through the 3 steps and then onto the berms. Gold and silver. That's the situation for New Zealand at the moment. And don't forget, with Anton Cooper in the race. He would have been the big favourite, Anton Cooper. He's probably the best of the New Zealand riders. No, unarguably, actually, he's the best. The gold medalist from Glasgow and the silver medalist 4 years ago. If he'd been in the race, there's every chance New Zealand would have been looking at a 1, 2, 3 and a podium shutout for everyone else.
Yeah, devastating for Anton Cooper to have made the trip over here for the Commonwealth Games and then getting COVID and being moved out of the athletes' village in isolation. He'll be watching this race, wishing he was a part of it.
Might even be listening to us, Rochelle, but so from all of us, it's such a shame that we haven't been able to see Anton Cooper rip up this course and get well soon. That's the message, but I'm sure from the perspective of Cameron Orr and Joe Blackmore, delighted that New Zealand don't have a 1, 2, 3 at the moment, because there's a real terrific race for the bronze medal developing on this course. So Alex Miller still in a little group of his own, the Namibian, and then that trio of riders containing Harry Birchall and the two from Australia, Fox and McConnell. They are coming towards the finish line now. They've just passed our commentary position. There they are. Fox still driving that group on, rider number 6, who lost all that time initially after he suffered from a mechanical and had to get what looked like a spare wheel after a puncture in the tech zone early on. They're the 6th, 7th and 8th riders on the course.
Yeah, Birchall from England, we haven't seen him take a turn on the front, have we? We know Dan McConnell's not feeling, you can tell by his body language that he's not feeling great, but definitely Sam Fox doing the majority of the work back there.
So where are Orr and Blackmore on the road? Dropping down through Wildside and into the curves, eventually heading for Rocky Road. And Orr now doing all the work on the front with Blackmore on his wheel.
Yeah, there was a moment there where we looked a little bit like Joseph Blackmore was losing distance, and he's got some motivation back hard on the wheel of Cameron Orr. Too hard to pick this one.
Yeah, I mean, Orr has been under real serious pressure on this race, and he's going to have to be very careful about when he attacks, because if he goes too deep into the red to try and drop Joe Blackmore, the lights could go out. That was never really the prospect for Sam Gaze. He's just looked fully in control. He's looked so good. Based himself in Girona, Sam Gaze.
Yeah, doing a fair bit of road racing early season as well. So a valuable rider to his professional team on the road. Now gets his moment to have his fun at the Commonwealth Games in the mountain bikes.
Rider from Alpecin de Koning, the road team of Mathieu van der Poel.
Oh, wouldn't it be great to go back-to-back at the Commonwealth Games and win wearing number 1? This is the man in second position, Ben Oliver of New Zealand.
4th place for him last time in the Commonwealth Games, just outside the medals. The race, as you were saying though, Rochelle, went the way of New Zealand, and it was Sam Gaze who won 4 years ago, and Sam Gaze who's well on course for victory here at Birmingham 2022. Coming towards the timing point for the penultimate time. Next time he comes round, there'll just be half a lap of this circuit remaining. What is his lead over Ben Oliver? Must be up to close to half a minute, I'd say, as Oliver only now takes that left-handed turn and starts to make his way up to the timing point. And Sam Gaze is dropping now down through Wildside and into the curves. 2 more descents down Rocky Road. 2 more times he's got to go over the drop-off of Deer's Leap, and then it's done.
It is a very flowing course, isn't it? It's got these 2 climbs, lots of downhills, flowing with berms. Not an overly technical course. Deer's Leap being the main feature of the course, which the riders have seemed to handle okay so far.
So on Twin Peaks here, this is where Cameron Orr has found himself repeatedly under pressure, and that's just perfect for him that he's able to ride at his pace on these climbs and not have to respond to the accelerations of anyone else in that group. Is Joe Blackmore bluffing? Has Blackmore got something in the locker here? Can he spring a surprise on Cameron Orr?
I think during different sections of the race, we've seen the riders look, their body language is giving...
Look at that. Noted there that Cameron Orr was reaching for a gel, and once again Joe Blackmore just as was done to him by Chris Aldridge, uses that moment where the Northern Ireland rider is trying to feed and get a gel on board, just to sweep to the front and actually set the pace on this final little bit of a climb. So watch Joe Blackmore now. Is that an attack?
Pretty cruel moment when you know your competitor's running low on energy and you put the hammer down while they're trying to get energy on board, but that's all a part of racing. That's why a lot of the riders like to drop to the back before they try to take an energy gel. Cameron Orr not very impressed with that.
It's the second time it's happened to him, isn't it, in the same race. Meanwhile at the front, Sam Gay's negotiating Rocky Road. Down he comes to Deers Leap. Only one more descent on that drop-off remains. Cool customer that he is, takes a drink out of the bottle cage, and that customary little check over his left shoulder to see if he can even see the other rider in the black and the silver fern of New Zealand's Ben Oliver, and he won't be able to see him because there's a 37 second gap on the course now between first and second.
And here is Ben Oliver sitting comfortably in the silver medal position. He's already raced 6 World Cups this year, so a lot of travelling and racing for Ben Oliver. Taking it very, very cautiously there.
Well, I'm sure part of the thinking in scheduling this these two races today to put the men's event on before the women's event on, I wonder some of their thinking might have been about a television audience back in New Zealand, because the race was always going to go in with New Zealand as the favourites to take gold, and hopefully there are some folk in New Zealand who are awake, propping their eyes out with matchsticks, but enjoying what they're seeing, because New Zealand are, nearly said Australia, that would have been a fundamental error, but New Zealand are on course to pick up gold and silver here, and only misfortune, accident or mechanical can prevent them. This race, though, is going to go to the wire by the looks of it. A really intriguing contest between two young riders. Joe Blackmore of England.
Well, it's certainly an advantage for the New Zealanders having probably the best place in the world to go mountain biking. Of course, they base themselves in Europe and they have the majority of racing in Europe, but if they have to travel home, they've got the perfect conditions and courses for mountain biking. And whilst they're racing in Europe, there will be so many people around the world travelling to New Zealand to take a benefit of their amazing mountain bike courses.
So down Deers Leap they go, Cameron Orr. Here it is, this is the approach to Deers Leap. They've gone through the timing point, that's that yellow section of Rocky Road, and that's that left-hand turn as they start to head back towards the tech zone thereafter. This was earlier on in the race, obviously, when there were 4 riders off the fronts, and this is the quality of these stones they have to thread a path through. It's not overly, as dangerous as that looks, it's not an overly demanding circuit, is it? I think the organisers, Rochelle, wanted to design a course that was fast, above all.
High paced, and I think also a lot of people can come and ride this course as well. If it was over technical, I mean, it would be difficult for the general public just to come here and enjoy the riding the Commonwealth Games course, but yeah, definitely not a over technical course, really designed to be fast, and we've seen the fast sections, quite a few of them.
Well, this is the, I think, the 6th rider on the road. This is Harry Birchall in that group of 2 Australians. So Birchall from England is now riding on the front. Sam Fox on his wheel, and Dan McConnell just under a little bit of pressure on the wheels. Doesn't look great at the moment, Dan McConnell. Looks like he's really suffering and just losing a few bike lengths there to his young teammate Sam Fox. But it's interesting to see Harry Birchall riding on the front of that group now.
Yeah, he's been sitting back patiently, and he's got huge rules from the crowds when he comes past. Harry Birchall, I think he's now applying the pressure and just trying to get the absolute most out of himself here at the Commonwealth Games. He doesn't want to hang around with the Australians anymore, and he is off and racing.
So Sam Gase still looking fully focused. The clouds have just rolled in a little bit. The baking sunshine has relented just slightly. This is the bell lap for Sam Gase, the final lap that he's about to take on.
Well, probably one of the most relaxing victories he'll take if he does manage to get safely around this final lap.
picks up a bit of a tailwind there, back into a headwind as he passes through that hairpin. Everybody banging the boards and supporting him here. Next time round, there'll be some high-fiving and a victory salute. That's the plan anyway. Sam Gaze has got one lap of this circuit to go, and such a lead that he could almost step off, have a cup of tea, and then resume his race, because he's got this one in the bank. Sam Gaze.
It's mentally challenging too, coming into a mountain bike race as the favourite, but also having to get that time away from your pro team and them letting you have the time to go and compete for your nation at a Commonwealth Games. It does add that additional pressure that you need to make the most of it, as we now see the second of the New Zealanders, Ben Oliver, just come through the finish line.
Oliver comes through 42 seconds down on his teammate Sam Gaze. And a long wait until we see Cameron Orr and Joe Blackmore. They'll be the next three riders over the line. Looking down, trying to spot where they are on this finishing circuit. On the grass, and I actually can't see them. So they are a long, long way down, Joe Blackmore and Cameron Orr.
Yeah, which is making it all look very positive for the two New Zealanders, Sam Gaze and Ben Oliver. They've got a handy lead out there, no pressure. They can afford to take things a little bit easier, as we now see the next two out on the course and the race for the bronze medal.
Well, have they started to play games with one another? Have they started to ease up? There's only one lap remaining. Joe Blackmore has moved to the front. An opportune moment, just when Cameron Orr, for the second time, was trying to take a gel. Joe Blackmore's getting a lot of support from the side of the road. You hear shouts of, "Come on, Joe!" Decent crowd here to watch the race. And I tell you what, Alex Miller of Namibia is not too far behind, and they really have eased up here, Rochelle. We might get a shot of him through the finish line. He has closed that gap, because these two are starting to play games with one another. There he is, Alex Miller coming into the shot there at the top.
Yeah, I think he's going to come into play here for the bronze medal.
Oh, well, this does make it complicated. Do they know he's there? Have they seen him yet? Here comes Alex Miller of Namibia. It's going to be a three-way tussle for the bronze medal. They take the bell, Cameron Orr on the front and Joe Blackmore, but a really resilient ride from the 20-year-old from Namibia. We knew he was good, 21-year-old I should say. We knew he was good, we knew he was a threat, and somehow these two have contrived to let him into the picture. And he now has a chance of bronze for Namibia. A great ride from Alex Miller.
He may have been held up at the start, Alex Miller. I mean, he had a fantastic ride at the Tokyo Olympics. He finished 31st, which is really a strong ride from the young 21-year-old. And just behind them, out on the course too, we have these three.
I think what's happened there, though, I mean, Miller's just been riding his race. Sure, he's accelerated as he's realised that he could get across to that group, but the gap between the silver medal position of Ben Oliver and the Orr and Blackmore group, that had expanded massively over the course of the last lap. So they have just eased up, and this makes it a little bit complicated. This group have left it too late to get back in contention. But this is a real race now for bronze. It's going to be fascinating as Orr tries to put them all under pressure through those three steps now, into the berms, dropping down all the way towards the tech zone now, and that little section of road along the lake. Orr's putting them under pressure.
Yeah, Orr is definitely putting them under pressure. He knows that his strongest point is not actually on the climb. He's been getting better and better though, Orr, hasn't he, with each lap? He's been getting more determined and aggressive.
Both the riders have held something back. Alex Miller will be on the limit, having raced across to get to these two, so it's a delicate moment for Alex Miller, having made the junction. He doesn't want to get dropped now, because he has done so much work to get back into this race.
Oh, what a fight we've got on our hands here for the bronze medal. Is Cameron Orr, Joe Blackmore, and the rider from Namibia.
Quite a story if Alex Miller gets a medal for Namibia. And quite a story when this man confirms his almost inevitable seeming victory, Sam Gaze. Dispenses with the final ascent of Twin Peaks. One more little climb towards the timing point, and then we'll see whether that 42 seconds has expanded to Ben Oliver. Here comes Oliver, secure in that silver medal race. but bronze is still anyone's of a group of 3 riders further back down that course.
We may all be decided on this climb.
Gaze coming towards the timing point now, the back end of the course. 1.5 hours of racing or thereabouts, 1:27.25, Sam Gaze. Start to drop down now through the wild side and the curves, then onto a rocky road, Deers Leap for the final time, and then the grind up to the finish line for Sam Gaze, but he's going to feel $1 million.
Certainly going to have time to celebrate, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sam Gaze.
Through the tech zone. Riders receiving encouragement there from spectators at the side of the road as well as the mechanics in the pit lane.
Well, it's not long after the tech zone where the climb starts, so they get the fresh bottle there. They don't want to carry the extra weight up the climb. They take a quick drink, and here's Ben Oliver. He doesn't want to lose too much time. He needs to just keep applying the pressure. As these three are a significant distance behind him.
They're a long way down. A long way down. They haven't got to the Twin Peaks section yet. And we haven't seen enough of what Alex Miller can do on this climb to know how much of a danger he is. Alex Miller, during the COVID lockdown year of 2020, in that remote location where he lives and trains in central southern Namibia, he had absolutely zero racing throughout the entire year of 2020 and had to just keep himself ticking over on that home-built mountain bike trail that he's got, that he designed himself. Here he is though, look at him, attacking Alex Miller on the right-hand side, going past Cameron Orr and dropping Joe Blackmore, and this is a big move from Alex Miller, and he's distanced the pair from the United Kingdom. Joe Blackmore really struggling on this climb, and look at the gap he's got there. Alex Miller is riding into the bronze medal position, and he has destroyed them on the Twin Peaks ascents.
Well, that's where we thought the race would be won and lost. We're watching the race for the bronze medal. Cameron Orr not giving up with Joseph Blackmore on the wheel there, but look at that.
Oh wow, he's out of sight already. He's already taken that left-hander and he is climbing again, and he'll look to really get it done here. Holding nothing back, Alex Miller coming to the timing point. Cameron Orr a distant 4th place on this course at the moment and out of the bronze medal positions. Namibia are closing in on a bronze here in the Commonwealth Games cycling. Unprecedented for them.
Yes, this will be a very big result for the 21-year-old from Namibia if he can hold on to this bronze medal position. You can see Cameron Orr now really struggling. Here's where the attack went from Alex Miller of Namibia, only 21 years old.
Wow, that could be the bronze medal move. This is, though, the gold medal ride. Sam Gaze has got support there by the side of the road, and he's dropping down towards Rocky Road now. We'll be taking Deers Leap very soon, and then he'll start to head up towards the finishing circuit. Another team helper by the side of the road will hand out one last bottle, which he takes and puts in his bottle cage. But the race is won for Sam Gaze. Just needs to stay upright, and another gold medal is his. A brilliant performance from the big favourite pre-race. I wonder what Anton Cooper will be thinking, how frustrated he'll be watching on in hotel isolation, having tested positive for COVID. I'm sure, though, at the back of it, he'll be delighted for his 2 teammates who are closing in on gold and silver.
Well,
some compensation at least.
Yeah, I can tell you, Ned, I was really excited about watching the battle between Anton Cooper and Sam Gaze after the exciting race we saw in 2018, and Cooper being in fine form would have been a great race to see.
None of which is Sam Gaze's problem. He can only beat what's put in front of him, so to speak, and he's beaten this course. He's run it ragged, absolutely dominated it. At no point has Sam Gaze been anything other than in complete control. Tactically very astute as well. He rode with Ben Oliver, used him effectively, discussed with him how they might approach those opening circuits, and then when he needed to, one just turning up of the heat on Ben Oliver, dropped his teammate and his rival, and Sam Gaze from then on was in a race of his own. Oh, that's good to see. Charlie Aldridge, who was on his own in the bronze medal position on the course, and surely on course to take that bronze medal before he slipped, crashed and tore off his rear neck. He is back up and running in the race. Don't know where he is in terms of his position on the road.
A devastating day for Aldridge. He was really pushing for that bronze medal. He was in a pretty comfortable position.
He's about to be lapped.
Unfortunately, about to be lapped by Sam Gaze. Yeah, so devastating for the Scottish rider there of Charlie Aldridge.
Well, Aldridge will be completing his race just for the sake of it, but it was a very promising ride from Chris Aldridge that came to a shuddering halt, and a real shame for him. But it is a victory lap, effectively, for Sam Gaze, a lap of honour. The race was won some time ago.
Well, up the ramp, over the last ramp into the opening finish circuit.
Here he comes now, Sam Gaze. The race is his. The zipping up can begin. That stern gaze of concentration can eventually break into a smile. A little shake of the head as he eases up a little bit on the bike. Visibly now relaxes. Ben Oliver is still in the woods, hasn't even got to that ramp, but he is in firm control of the silver medal. Just that last little complication to get through before he too will go up and over the ramp and onto the grass. And he too will be cheered home, because New Zealand have just bossed this from almost the very start. Chris Aldridge went through the first turn in first place, and thereafter that was it. New Zealand came to the front and ripped the race to bits.
Oh, one more turn for Sam Gaze into the finishing straight, and he's certainly under no pressure. He's going to take this gold medal for New Zealand. What a proud day for the Kiwis.
Well, being a Commonwealth Games champion is one thing. Being a back-to-back Commonwealth Games gold medalist is quite another. He kisses the flag. He gazes upwards. Sam Gaze gets it done. A masterful display. By far the strongest rider in that race. And he looks like he could go round and do it all again. He was that good, Rochelle. A truly brilliant performance. And now he'll wait with the flag to celebrate gold and silver with his teammate Ben Oliver. Here he comes now. It's the silver medal for Ben Oliver. A 1-2 for New Zealand. Just a few days, this team was dominant at the track. They won more medals than any other nation. And in the mountain biking, they have bossed it. Oliver and Gaze, gold and silver. Brilliance from New Zealand.
Wasn't that lovely to see Sam Gaze there? Just wait for him at the finish line. Congratulate him. Celebrate gold and silver together for the New Zealanders. Now we see the rider from Namibia in bronze position out on the course, and he's looking very, very strong. Alex Miller, only 21 years of age. He comes into the opening final lap, and he's looking quite comfortable for that bronze medal.
Well, make no mistake how important this is for the sports-mad nation of Namibia. This man, if he wasn't before, would be a household name in Windhoek and beyond. This is a massive achievement for a nation that consistently punches above its weight. Of course, they've had great sports stars in the past. Joanna Benson, the great Paralympian. They've had Frankie Fredericks, of course, the great sprinter in years gone by. They've got a rugby team that overperforms from time to time at the Rugby World Cup. But in cycling, they've never had a medal at the Commonwealth Games. And Alex Miller, with his own peculiar backstory, his own particular set of circumstances, from the middle, the most remote part of central southern Namibia, a man who had no racing at all in 2020, so instead he built his own trails course in his backyard. He does it his own way. Alex Miller, we knew he was good, and now we know just how good he is. Alex Miller takes bronze for Namibia and makes history. A ride of greatness from the 21-year-old. The battle for fourth place, though, it's Cameron Orr and Joe Blackmore doing battle, and it was tight between those two. Cameron Orr just getting the better of Joe Blackmore to take fourth, and the English rider will be in fifth place.
Well, it was a big fight from Cameron Orr, wasn't it? So he can be proud of his 4th place there, unfortunately just outside of the medals. But look at this and what it means for Namibia.
Well, those are his 2 teammates, Xavier Papo, without the helmet on there, congratulating him. As Hugo Hahn, they'd already been eliminated from the race, and they were there at the finish line to greet their teammate, Alex Miller.
Well, Alex Miller is the current African Continental Champion. Now he can add a bronze medal to that at the Commonwealth Games, as we now see the 2 Australians coming in.
Yep, Sam Fox, the next rider over the line, acknowledges the support of the crowd. An unfortunate race for him, suffering a mechanical. And his senior teammate, Dan McConnell, comes battered, tired, and a little disappointed over the line.
Yeah, you could see Dan McConnell struggle a little bit in that race, fitness-wise. Not his best day on the bike. He'll finish in 7th place at the Commonwealth Games.
Bronze medalist in Glasgow 2014, 7th, 8 years later. Harry Birchall coming over the line, also top 10. It'll be in 8th place for the 2nd England rider to go with Joe Blackmore's 5th place.
Yeah, Birchall happy with that result.
As he made his way down that straight.
How many riders are there left?
Well, a lot of the riders would have been taken off the course due to how fast Sam Gaze got around that first lap. It was absolutely blistering fast from this man.
I think we're going to see Chris McGlinchey, the 2nd of the Northern Ireland riders, in. And then after him, Rhys Hydrio of Jersey will be the only one of the islanders to make it to the finish line, I think. So those 2 riders still out on the course as I look from the commentary position to see if either of them are approaching the finishing circuit. We've certainly got timings for them at the checkpoint. So we should see them come to the line and complete the total number of laps.
Sam Gaze with New Zealand's 3rd gold in Commonwealth Games mountain biking history and his 2nd. That's the men's race done, but we'll be back later for the women's race at Cannock Chase Forest. Here's what else is happening today on the Games channel. Boxing features quarter-final bouts from the NEC, with African interest across several weight divisions, 17 nations represented in all. There'll be medals awarded in squash singles at the University of Birmingham, 9 golds on offer in the pool on the last night of swimming, and there's an enthralling night of athletics ahead. 8 medal events there in front of 30,000 spectators at Perry Bar. And talking of athletics, here's news of some of the morning session highlights. Australia's Peter Ball, who just missed out on an Olympic medal in Tokyo last year, won his 800-metre heat in impressive style to lead the qualifiers for the semi-finals. He was indeed the fastest qualifier and did it at a canter. South Africa's Ndodonzi Ntutu went sub 11 seconds to set the gold standard in heats for the men's T11, T12 100 metres. England's Zach Shaw looks like his likeliest challenger for the title in tonight's final. Defending champion Katarina Johnson-Thompson jumped out to 6 metres 33 to consolidate her lead after 5 events in the heptathlon. Her English teammate Kate O'Dowda was the only athlete to jump further, moving her up into silver medal position. But with just the javelin and 800 metres to come, KJT, as she's known, leads by 122 points from O'Dowda. Kate O'Connor of Northern Ireland has a good javelin record, so is not out of it yet. In the men's 400-metre heats, recent World Championship medalist Matt Hudson-Smith, who's a Birmingham boy, cruised to victory and the semi-finals at the Alexander Stadium he knows so well, carrying on his form from Oregon. Swimming heats have also been taking place this morning. England's Tom Dean qualified fastest for the men's 200 metres individual medley final tonight. The Olympic 200 metres freestyle champion was ahead of Canada's Finlay Knox and his friend and rival Duncan Scott of Scotland in the overall list of qualifiers. Another Olympic champion, Ariana Titmus of Australia, led a 1-2-3 of Aussies in her 400-metre freestyle heat and was third fastest qualifier overall for tonight's final, behind New Zealand's Erica Fairweather and 15-year-old Canadian Summer McIntosh. Titmus will doubtless have plenty in reserve for the final. Australia's team qualified fastest for the men's 4x100 metres medley relay, which will bring the swim meet to an end tonight, with England second quickest. That's the big showdown in the pool at evening's end. We'll be going to boxing at the NEC very shortly for quarter-final action. Lots of African interest, 17 countries taking part overall. But we can have a quick look at the medal standings. This midway point in the day, Australia leading the way, and you've got a feeling that they might just add a few more gold medals to that gold medal column after the swimming, the final night of swimming later on tonight. They've been so dominant in the pool. England will have high hopes though as well. They've got a couple of chances tonight in the pool as well, and certainly on the athletics track. New Zealand adding that goal from Sam Gaze to their collection, going well in. As promised, we're off to Birmingham for the quarter-final action from the NEC. Men's featherweight division action coming up. India's Zamuddin Mohammed against Namibia's Try Again Ndavelo will be the next bout. The Indian boxer won bronze 4 years ago. Bout in the men's featherweight division. Coming falling to his knees. He's through. That's a medal guaranteed for him and for Ghana. But next up, it's India's Zamuddin Mohammed
on all 4 cards. All 5 cards, excuse me. What am I talking about? 4 cards. All 5. Clean sweep for the youngster from Ghana.
Hungary, Botswana, Bosnia-Herzegovina. The referee in charge of the action from Canada.
Our next quarter-final at featherweight is Mohammed Hussamuddin of India going up against Try Again Ndavelo of Namibia. Edouard Blanchard of Canada is our referee for this one.
First to the ring, boxing out of the red corner, representing India, Hussamuddin Mohammed.
Bronze medalist 4 years ago. Definitely one of the favourites for a podium finish when this competition started. Has come through 2 fights so far. Very clever southpaw. Recently became a dad to a baby girl. Congratulations to him. Has been nursing an injured left thumb just ahead of them.
And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner, representing Namibia. Try again, Morning Ndavelo.
Try again, Ndavelo was in quite a ding-dong in his last fight against Jonin Dabule. Eventually manages to wear him down and stop him in the 3rd round. Showing a real big heart, real boxing intelligence, has done much better than he did in his Commonwealth Games debut in the Gold Coast 4 years ago when he went out in the 1st round. Here he is, 1 win away from a medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a quarter-final of the men's featherweight contest, fought over 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing to you first, in the red corner, representing India, Hussamuddin Mohammed. And in the blue corner, representing Namibia, Try Again, Morning Ndavelo.
Heads, holding, low blows, listen to me, touch them up.
So Two southpaws going head-to-head here for a place in the Commonwealth Games semi-finals. Mohammed Hussamuddin of India in the red, try again Undevelo of Namibia in the blue. The Indian boxer won both his previous two fights unanimously. Bossed them, had his way with his opponents. Can he make it three in a row here against Undevelo?
He's already landed two good left hands there, hasn't he, Mohammed?
Well, we saw Undevelo make a slow start before coming on strong and stopping his Fijian opponent last time out. But you don't want to be falling behind and chasing the game against this fella.
No, Mohammed's clever, isn't he? Tricky.
Yeah.
Really good.
And a really good counter-puncher. If you start forcing the pace, he'll pick you off. Lost his balance completely there. So Undevelo has got to stay busy, land his shots, and just, oh, that's like that. Lovely little left hand from the Namibian. That's what he needs. That's got Hussamuddin's focus. And there's an immediate response as well. But back comes Undevelo again. Turning into an interesting little contest, this one, midway through this first round.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, overcommits again there, Hussamuddin.
You should just up against a tall guy, isn't he, there? You've got nice sharp counters there, Undevelo.
Good at keeping his shape as well, the Namibian, isn't he?
No, he doesn't panic under pressure.
Lets the punches go. Nice little right hand to finish there from Undevelo. Hussamuddin continues just to try and work his way in. Struggling with his accuracy a little bit.
Yeah, he is. He started off fast, didn't he, Hussamuddin?
Yeah, but he's been forcing those backhands a little bit. And Undevelo is not there to be on the receiving end of them. Nice body shot. Oh, but Hussamuddin with a response as well. But Undevelo did land a very, very nice body shot in there. 30 seconds to go in this opening session.
They've been competitive, haven't they? Really competitive.
Yeah, it really has.
Good right hook there from Hussamuddin.
There's certainly been enough from Hussamuddin to give the judges a decision here.
Good finish of the round.
Yeah, always important to finish the round on top, especially when it's close, and this one's going to be close. Oh, what an interesting 3 minutes that was.
Fast-paced, wasn't it? Hussamuddin, started off, he come up with a good shot, didn't he? Straight off the belt. Start the round. But then Undevelo just got into it a little bit, and he started to find his range a little bit more with the long left hand, and Hussamuddin then had to up the pace a little bit. Good variety in his work. Probably better movement. Just seeing there, as he jumped in, walking onto a lovely left hook there from Undevelo. He's showing he can still be a little bit dangerous. You tend to think the busier fighter and the probably more accurate throughout was Hussamuddin.
Well, the judges have to pick a winner, and we're split here, 3-2 in favour of Mohammed Hussamuddin. For what it's worth, I'd have given Undevelo the nod. It's the kind of fight that if that had been a pro judge looking at that, they may well have scored it level. There was very, very little to choose between them, but you have to pick a winner, and it's the Indian boxer that gets the early edge here. So the pressure is on Undevelo to come up with something here in the second round to avoid being in a bad spot in the third round, and he's certainly been sent out to get down to business, hasn't he? Now let's see if Hussamuddin can stay with him. Really up in the ante here, try again Undevelo.
Yeah, it was a good left hand in that exchange somewhere from Undevelo.
And there's a right uppercut coming in from Undevelo.
It was a good little left hand, the response there from Hussamuddin as well.
A little touch there with the right hand.
Good jab there from Hussamuddin.
Ripped the body shot from Develo. But yeah, Hussamadin is certainly matching his intensity. Was momentarily stunned at how fast he came out of the blocks there, but quickly picked up the speed.
He's trying to close the gap, isn't he, on the scorecards here on Develo?
Yeah, well, he needs to.
Good uppercut there from Develo. Lovely little shot.
Well, again, Hussamadin is reaching and missing. Needs to be a bit neater with his work. That was clever. That was nice. Yeah, some pace this is being boxed at. Joseph Comey, the Ghanaian, awaits the winner. Stablemate of the defending champion Junius Jonas at light welterweight is Trigan and Develo, and the way the draw has worked, they're back to back. He says he's learned so much from working with Jonas. Picked up a lot of good habits. Well, is he going to pick up this second round here, because Hussamadin is working his way back into it now.
Yeah, Develo's just a little lazy with that left hand. Not there though.
That's nice, that's lovely. Timed it perfectly there. Didn't time that one too well. Took a body shot for his pains. But he's really finishing the round pretty well here, Mohamed Hussamadin.
Yeah, all that experience coming into play, isn't it?
Once again,
it's a tight round.
Let the judges know, isn't it? Last 30 seconds, turn on the afterburners. And I wonder if that's done enough to pinch him the round again, as Trigan and Develo started well, but didn't finish particularly well.
Well, he had a good start, didn't he? And again, he's in the fight, but for me, he's lost another round, I feel. And that makes it still a close fight, isn't it? But that makes it might make it a bit of an uphill battle if that's the case. You just feel that Hussamadin just knows the right time when to click in the gear. And every now and again he throws one big shot in the round, and that's sort of an eye-catching combination. But most of the time they're both punching with each other, and it's hard to pick who's coming on top in those little exchanges.
Yeah, it's what you like, isn't it? I think this fella's clever the way he finishes around so strongly. Well, let's see what it's done on the scorecards, and just look at that. Mohamed Hussamadin has got 2 2018s, but the other three are all tied, which means if Trigan and Develo could just come out and dominate this third round, he will advance. But Hussamadin needs only one of those three judges to favour him in this third round for him to book his place in the semi-finals. So he's not there yet, but Develo has got to really come out and just take it from him here in this third round. All to play for in this battle for a medal in the featherweight division. Hussamadin knows he's got to work for it. He can't just sit back and let Develo dictate the terms. Big cheers every time Hussamadin lands from the Indian contingent, but Develo's clever there as well, getting his shot away. Nice jab, Hussamadin. The first minute has gone of this third round.
Hussamadin can wait, he's got the advantage here on the scorecard, so he can wait for right down to the wire before he commits to an attack. It's Develo that has to make the commitment here. He has to take that risk of maybe getting caught to be the busier fighter.
We're inside the final 2 minutes, and it's Mohamed Hussamadin still looking to try and land the eye-catching stuff. And the clever Indian boxer is so good at managing these rounds, coming on strong late.
And he has a good judgment of the distance, doesn't he? So he's just always slightly out the reach there for Develo. Nice work.
Yeah, lovely work from Hussamuddin downstairs. It's Ndebolo that needs the big final round. I'm not sure he's getting it here, but remember, 3 judges had it level. If they all see it Ndebolo's way, that's all he's going to need. But is he doing enough?
They just had to take a good left hand there, didn't he, off Hussamuddin. This has been a busier here, more accurate in this round to this point.
I mean, Mohammed Hussamuddin is boxing like the man who knows he needs this last round. He's not bossing it, but he is controlling it. Yeah. And Ndebolo just can't seem to get anything going here, and he's got less than a minute remaining. Again, he's fast in, Hussamuddin.
Good left hand and a right hook there, wasn't it, from Hussamuddin?
Lovely combination. Got through there, Ndebolo, and we're down inside 30 seconds.
Got to let his hands go now.
Got to. Can't think your way through here now. You've just got to land clean, often, regularly. Tell the judges you've won the round for both of them. And again, it's Hussamuddin that's looking to just say, hey, it's me, the guy in the red. I'm the one bossing this fight. I'll be very surprised if anybody saw that last round in favour of Trigan Ndebolo for all his efforts. Mohammed Hussamuddin boxed with intelligence and poise.
Yeah, he didn't have it all his own way, but I think, yeah, he just kept a cool, calm head. Was happy to punch with Ndebolo, and then as the rounds went on, so in the later stage of the rounds, he was the one picking up the shots and finishing the stronger. And the third round here, when Ndebolo needed that big round, for me, I don't think he had it. I think it was Hussein who had. Actually, he might have had his best round in that final round.
I would agree with you.
And some clean, lovely shots. And it's just with the distance. He's always just out of reach. And Ndebolo, the taller fighter, I think he'd have the advantage of that. But always good awareness of where he is in the ring at all times there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision for your winner in the red corner.
Yeah, it's Hussamuddin.
Representing India, Hussamuddin Mohammed.
He takes it 4-1. One of the 3 judges that had it level favoured Ndebolo. The other 4 went for Mohammed Hussamuddin. And I think the majority got that one absolutely right. Well, a bronze medal 4 years ago, guaranteed bronze here for the new father. And that was a really impressive effort. Those first 2 fights, he had things pretty much where he wanted them, all his own way. This one, he had to go out and work for it and earn it, and he did just that. Definitely a worthy winner. Well, there it is, confirmed on the cards. 4-1 in favour of Mohammed Hussamuddin of India. So it's Joseph Comey and Mohammed Hussamuddin who will face each other in the featherweight semi-finals.
Join us for our next bout from Germany, India, Hungary, Korea and Canada. Our referee in charge of the action from Australia, Carl Ruan.
So from featherweights to light welterweights, and the talent-loaded division here, which features Junius Jonas of Namibia, the defending champion, against last year's world bronze medalist, young Rhys Lynch from Scotland. The officials are ringside, and
First
the man in the middle
ring,
is Carl
boxing
Ruan.
out of the red corner, representing Namibia, Jonas Junias Jonas.
Says this is his last tournament as an amateur. He'll turn professional after this, his 3rd Commonwealth Games. He picked up a silver in 2014 at the age of 20, losing to Josh Taylor. But then traded that up from silver to gold 4 years ago. 2 wins, looking good so far, but boy, This is a real quality quarter-final. A very, very good boxer is going to miss out on a medal here.
And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner and representing Scotland, Rhys Lynch.
The young, tricky southpaw Rhys Lynch, who brings a world bronze medal with him. Had an easy first round and just got the better of India's Shiva Thapa last time out with a big final round. He's elusive, he's got good feet, he can counter punch. But can he step up and knock off the defending champion?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a quarter-final of the men's light welterweight division. This is contested over 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing to you first, boxing out of the red corner, representing Namibia, Jonas Junias Jonas. And his opponent, boxing out of the blue corner, representing Scotland, Rhys Lynch.
No holding, punches up, touch gloves.
This is some quarter-final, good enough to be a medal match. Junius Jonas of Namibia in the red, the defending champion, the two-time Commonwealth medalist, up against young Rhys Lynch. The young and very, very impressive southpaw. Can he step up and secure a Commonwealth medal here? Or will Jonas and all that experience that he brings to the ring prevail? It's a coin toss. Pick what you like here. It'll be fascinating to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's a really quality matchup, isn't it? It really is. Really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's the third fight for both of them, and I think both of them would have looked at the draw and said, right, okay, I've got to bring my A game for this one. I can't just coast my way through here. This has got to be my best stuff.
Got a hold in there from Jonas.
That's the problem that Jonas is going to face here. Lynch is so tricky to hit.
There's a left hand there for Lynch to throw. He didn't throw it. Jonas was over the front foot, over reaching. He should have topped him with that left hand.
Oh, there he goes again.
No one's really landed with a clean punch yet.
Well, Lynch is obviously going to get in close and smother Jonas at every opportunity. That much is obvious here in the first half of this first round.
Nice little right hook there from Lynch.
Yeah, he's picking some sharp little shots, isn't he?
Jonas going to come in just a little bit slower, a little bit lower when he comes in to attack. There's a good uppercut as well there from Lynch.
And there he goes in, getting close again now. Disengage. Pick some nice shots again with that left hand Lynch. Working downstairs. Yeah, confident look about the Scottish youngster here. Only 2 minutes gone. But the game plan is obviously working. And he's very happy to get in close and just bully Jonas whenever he can. And we're just trying to rough up the champion on the inside.
Not quite accurate there with that left hand there, Lynch.
Yeah, and he got picked off with a right downstairs. But there he is, holding again.
Good turn, you know, from Lynch.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah.
He's really trying to be physical with Junius Jonas here, and it's working. It's nice again. Jonas is swinging at fresh air at the moment. And there it is again. Got him up against the ropes. Just tying him up, bullying him, roughing him up.
And showing the shoulders is always going to be the busier.
Oh, no, he's got to be really sensible.
what do we say? You're too fast, you're too sharp. All right, Reece, too fast, too sharp. Right, deep breaths, good lad.
Good start there, wasn't it, from Lynch? You felt happy to stand on the outside, even when he was being aggressive, counter-punching, just waiting for forcing Jonas to overreach the lead and then just picking him off those hooks and straight left hands. I think there's not much on these shots, and they want loads of clean work, but anything that did land clean came from Lynch.
And he tied up Jonas so often, didn't he? I mean, it's clearly a tactic. They've got him, you know, they obviously decided get physical, get in his face, annoy him, push him back against the ropes. It certainly seemed, yeah, he did. I mean, there's only one possible outcome for the judges in that first round.
It's a great start for the youngster. It's all on Jonas now. The experience got to pull something out the bag for him here in this second round.
Round two then, and it's Junius Jonas of Namibia, the reigning champion. The silver medalist of 8 years ago, up against it here against young Reece Lynch of Scotland, who got the tactics absolutely spot on in that first round. Slick, elusive, hard to hit, lands his own shots and ties up and bullies the opponent whenever he can. Really does need to find some success from somewhere, Jonas, and Lynch isn't giving him much at all.
He's too far out there for Jonas. He's getting closer.
Yeah, and then he slipped inside, got in close, just spoiling and smothering Jonas's work. And yeah, he's out of range. Over and over again here, Jonas. Just can't get to Lynch, can he?
Scoring shot there from Lynch, nothing heavy on it.
How many times have we seen him that he lands that left hand, then he just follows in, gets on his opponent's chest and pushes him back. Oh, there was nothing wrong with that. That was a super little right hand this time. I mean, if Jonas has been having trouble with the left, it was the right that got him there.
He's boxing well here, Lynch. Jonas got to try and change the tact here.
I'm a little bit surprised as when they do get in close, just how physical Lynch is. Look, he just marches him back against the ropes all the time. Jonas just doesn't seem to be able to push him off. Now, Jonas does get a body shot in there, and Lynch gets in close again.
Two good hooks so far from Lynch there. Hooked and rolled underneath, came back with the second one. Again, they're using that long reach, good timing. So be careful there.
Backhand leads, and he really is bullying Jonas physically. Inside this final minute of this second round. What a frustrating fight this has been for the defending champion, and it's Lynch that's made it frustrating for him. He just can't impose himself on it at all.
Oh, good uppercut there though from Jonas. Nice little shot. Yeah, he's boxed well, hasn't he, Lynch? Use that reach to catch Jonas as he's coming in. Falling short, making him pay for that mistake, and then when they get close, he ties him up, leans on him, pushes him back.
Here he goes again, gets in close, shoves him back. Over and over again we're seeing that. Oh no, that's a naughty one. That's a naughty one.
Was he going to find, I think? Yeah, awesome. That's the end of the competition now for Jonas.
You have to say.
He's lost that round, and now he's lost it even bigger.
I mean, that's frustration.
Cost him the fight. He was losing the round anyway, but there was always an opportunity to maybe have a big second round, a third round. But now, he boxed well there, Lynch again. It's not always pretty to watch, but it's been effective. Got away with that, Lynch there, you're just using the shoulder there to hit the head up of Jonas, and he's roughed him out, haven't he? Just taking him out of his rhythm totally. Whether it's clipping him as he's coming forward, or roughing him up as he's pushing him back. I'm sure the referee gave a point away there.
Keep a distance. Sharp. It was sharp. Change direction, strike. Change direction, strike. All right? There's room for a breather.
Well, Lynch must have won the round. And it did look, as you say, like a point off, but that's not been scored. So it's 10-9s again for Lynch. Jonas gets away with one there. But he's still in a world of trouble here. Reece Lynch has been flawless, as you say. It's not been pretty. It's been a very effective game plan they've put together to deal with Junius Jonas.
But the fact that the referee didn't give, I thought he gave a point, but the fact that he hasn't, that gives Jonas an opening now.
It's just a slight chance, isn't it?
That's all you need, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, mentally as well, to go, no, you can push on, there's a chance. And Lynch got to use that long reach now better than he has before.
Just how awkward has Reece Lynch been in this fight? He's tall and gangly. He's been tying him up, ducking down there. This is, I mean, as you say, it's not pretty, but it's certainly effective. Just neutralising Jonas's work. He's just not there to be hit.
Good right hook there from Jonas.
Trying to land the long left, following up as well, and Lynch getting in close once again. A couple of right hands there from Jonas.
And a body shot there.
Yeah, this is much better. Can he make a big impression here? And again, Lynch is going back to what's been working for him throughout this fight. Get in close, tie him up, shove him back. It's winning ugly.
Good jab though there from Lynch. Good movement as well there, little flicking shot and underneath the arms, and out he goes.
Not been as effective in this third round, Lynch, but he's still managing things well as we get down to the final minute of it. All he's got to do is avoid the big mistake, and so far, so good. Again, looks around as if to say, well, I'm all right. Bit of showboating to the crowd there, just to add to the frustration for Jonas.
It's nice there for Lynch, lovely work. Really clever.
That's all he's got to do. It's so effective. And we're going down to just over 30 seconds, and he looks very, very confident and cocky in there, Reece Lynch, and why not?
And again, another fight where there's just no urgency in the work here of Jonas.
It's like he's run out of ideas. It just hasn't been able to handle him at all. And there we go. That's really slick and clever from Lynch. Sticks his tongue out his opponent as well. Just trying to mess him up mentally as much as anything now. This has been really classy from young Reece Lynch. It really has. It's been ugly and messy at times, but it's been effective from start to finish. And Junius Jonas's reign as a light welterweight champion of the Commonwealth is surely over. Reece Lynch has just dethroned him.
Yeah, I think Lynch boxed really well there, just didn't allow Jonas into the fight.
I'm here. My time. Come on.
And hyped up as we see as well. But he boxed well. You know, he used what he had. Those long flicking right hooks over the top, just frustrating Jonas as he was trying to close the gap. And then when he did get close, as you were continuously saying there, Nick, tied him up. Then he leaned on him. He pushed him back, using the shoulder as well, illegally, but getting away with it, and just trying to mess with the psyche there of Jonas. And I think it worked. Got in his head, frustrated him, and ultimately outboxed him.
Well, he joins up with the GB Elite squad after this tournament, does Reece Lynch. And
ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision for your winner in the blue corner, representing Scotland, Reece Lynch.
Outstanding performance from young Reece Lynch. Junius Jonas lost a final against a Scotsman 8 years ago. That was Josh Taylor, who has since gone on to become a unified world professional champion. If Reece Lynch can follow in Taylor's footsteps, he's going to have some career ahead of him. Well, he's joining up with the GB Elite squad. He's guaranteed a medal, and the future is very bright indeed. That was a very classy performance.
He boxed really well, and that's the performance we need. You know, the guaranteed medal now. You know, he moves on now to the real important task now, where he'll believe he can get a gold medal. He'll believe he can get to that final.
I tell you, I mean, statements.
2 fights before he makes it.
Statements here. My time, statements.
And as you can hear, and as you can see, he's psyched up and full of confidence.
Right across the board, there was indeed a point off. So it was a very wide unanimous decision in favour of Reece Lynch. Our second men's light welterweight quarter-final is Canada versus Uganda. Wyatt Sanford and Joshua Tukumawebwa. Maslan Amzar of Malaysia is our referee for this one.
Out of the red corner, representing Canada, Wyatt Sanford.
So the 23-year-old Southpaw's looked good on his journey so far. Said he wanted to shrug off the disappointment of going out early at the Tokyo Olympics. He's dropped down a division to do it. And Wyatt Sanford finds himself now boxing for a medal. Canada has been very successful in Commonwealth Games boxing. All 7 of their boxers 4 years ago medalled. And they're all going well this time around as well.
And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner, representing Uganda, Joshua Tukumawebwa.
From Uganda, it's Joshua Tukumawebwa, the young southpaw, the 22-year-old team captain who goes by the nickname of the Punisher. But his nickname here really should be the Comeback Kid. Twice he's lost the first round. Twice he's come back to get himself over the line. Can he do it again and book himself a medal appearance?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a quarter-final of the men's light welterweight contest, fought over 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing to you first, in the red corner, representing Canada, Wyatt Sanford. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner, representing Uganda, Joshua Tukumawebwa.
He said, head up, no holding, low blow. And he said, okay, the hand, pull up.
Fascinating contest, which looks very open on paper, doesn't it? Wyatt Sanford, the stockier Canadian, in the red. Joshua Tukumawebwa, the Ranger Ugandan, in another battle of southpaws here in this second light welterweight quarter-final of the afternoon. And what Tukumawebwa, you feel, has got to avoid is the slow start. He's made life difficult for himself in his first 2 fights, got himself out of trouble, but you don't want to keep coming from behind.
No, he started fast here though. You know, to establish that jab pretty early. He's strong now, isn't he, Sanford? But
yeah,
also hittable.
Yes, he's there to be hit, isn't he? Tukumawebwa came in having won the Kilimanjaro Open in Tanzania, a warm-up tournament for this event back in June. And he's had to do it the hard way here.
It's a good left hand though there, isn't it, from Tukumawebwa? That's what he needs more of that.
It's been a really good first minute from him.
He's been listening to you, Nick.
Well, that'll be a first. And it's usually a recipe for disaster as well. But no, he certainly has started off well here. A young man who's had to overcome an awful lot of adversity in his private life already. Here he is boxing for a shot at winning a Commonwealth Games gold medal. But Wyatt Sanford wants that medal just as badly.
Sanford's just not quite got his distance right yet. It was good work there though from Tuckuma Weber.
Nothing behind it, but it was effective work.
Yeah, it's a scoring shot, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what we haven't seen from Tuckuma Weber here in Birmingham is that reputation. He came in as the big puncher, the punisher. But he's much more of a complete boxer than a power hitter.
Yeah, and it's what level you're boxing at as well. You know, that also takes into an account. Good left hand there from Sanford.
Yeah, but he takes one back immediately, but Sanford realises now he's got to up the tempo a little bit, get in close. Got to sharpen up the quality of his work as he gets a warning for a slap there. But yeah, he's made this first couple of minutes too easy really for Tuckuma Weber. Needs to set a faster tempo.
Yeah, he's just walking on the shots and he's trying to close the gap, and he's so focused on that he is walking into a couple of straight shots on his way in. Good jab there for Tuckuma Weber.
As you said earlier, Barry, Sanford is hittable. He is there to be hit, and at the moment, Tuckuma Weber is picking off some very, very nice shots. Takes a left hand back though there. Sanford lands a big left hand.
Yeah, and a right hook there as Tuckuma Weber just squared his feet up, lean forward.
How many times is a round won and lost in the final 15-20 seconds, and Sanford is looking to try and turn this in his favour here, having made that really slow start. He's come on strong. Is it too little too late as far as that first round is concerned?
I would think so, but you know, we said that and got it wrong. But I thought, for me, I think Tuckuma Weber started fast. We've got those long shots into play, and the other ones that are easy to score, aren't they, from distance? I thought he didn't have to take that round. Again, Sanford looking to unload, but you know, maybe just punch him a little bit too far out, and that's allowed Tuckuma Weber to get that long jab and certainly that long left hand on the target. But as the round went on, just things slowed down a little bit. Sanford was able to get into range. He landed with a couple of meaty shots, but overall, Tuckuma Weber did the better work.
Okay, chill. You need to pick it up, okay? Stay smart, stay focused.
Well, this is how the cards are looking. 4-1 in favour of the Ugandan. Well, he's been doing all the chasing in this year's Commonwealth Games, Joshua Tuckuma Weber. Let's see how he operates as a front runner. And this is new territory for Wyatt Sanford, who is trailing, which is something that he didn't experience in his first two contests. And I think the message was there for Wyatt Sanford. Up the tempo, let the punches go. It sounds very simple, but you've got to start faster than he did in that first round.
But he's doing it now, isn't he? And again, you always got to be always coming back as well. You've got to be careful. Tuckuma Weber, even though he has been a devastating puncher, he whips those shots in. They can be hurtful punches.
Yeah, Sanford is pressing, as you say. He's very, very aware of what is coming back. And there's always something is coming back from Tuckuma Weber.
Yeah, it was good uppercut there when they're from Tuckuma Weber there. Sanford just squared his feet up as he got close.
Now, he's taking his time, catches a left hand for his pains there, Sanford. Tuckuma Weber using that reach of his pretty effectively here against an oncoming, stockier opponent, and Sanford's defences again let himself down there.
That was strange there, because Tuckuma Weber had some success. He landed a lovely uppercut, but he held on to Sanford.
He did that a little bit in the first round as well, didn't he? It's just like, well, getting close, I'll just tie you up. Well, now, where's that come from?
It was a good shot. He landed with a nice overhand left there, Sanford, but I don't think it warranted a
absolutely
standing count.
Stunned at that.
Listen, the referee's closest if he feels it's a heavy shot, and the boxer needs the 8, he can't rest. That's his prerogative.
Well, now that puts Tuckuma Weber under pressure.
Oh, good, the right hook there from Tuckuma Weber.
he's got to really start firing back here. Just let the judges know I'm okay and I'm still in charge here. But that's going to give Sanford a real boost as he just tries the rough stuff on the inside. Just tries to bully, took him away. But
it's from the shot though, isn't it, Sanford? So step over to the right and throw that left hook really high and wide. Shot again.
Sanford tries to get straight back on him. Took him away, but standing his ground here, and the referee letting him work on the inside. Oh, he's rocked again there. He's more balanced than anything else, and Sanford is finishing this round strongly, just as he did the first round. And I think this time the outcome might be a little bit different. Is there a bit of a cut there on the eye? He is. He's damaged on the left eye there, Sanford. That's the bad news, but surely he did enough to win this round and make this very, very interesting going into the last 2 minutes. But how bad is that cut?
Kwa miaka 11 Minto FM imekuwa pamoja nanyi ikiwapa burudani na kuwaelimisha. Na sasa tunawaalika mashabiki wetu tujumuike pamoja kwa tamasha la Minto Night. Tarehe 6 mwezi Agosti tutakuwa na Minto Night huko Winds Park Resort Kisii. Wanamuziki kama vile Kwasa Kwasa, Embarambamba na wengine watakuwa site kuwaburudisha. Siku ya Jumapili tarehe 7 Agosti, Minto FM itaandaa maombi ya shukrani na kuombea uchaguzi wa amani katika uwanja wa Itiero Primary School kuanzia saa 3 asubuhi. Waimbaji wa nyimbo za dini wakiwemo Evangelist Eric Mwaniki, Molly Kemunto na wengineo watakuwemo. Nyote mwalikwa.
Minto FM yenye karuga yubusi. The Communications Authority of Kenya, CA, regulates the broadcasting industry, promoting development of local content and ensuring responsible use of broadcasting platforms for national good, to give you and your family choice with a variety of content to enjoy.
We need numbers.
And I'm sure Dad is not supposed to find out about this.
No, not in this life.
How would you like coming to work here at JNJ?
Is Kathy in agreement with all of this?
I'm not answerable to her.
Why don't you want the same thing as your mother? How do I trust you?
I'll help you the board members.
How?
I'll call them one by one.
The Communications Authority of Kenya, opening your world.
Kupata heshima kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 759 hash.
Ukiwa mtu wa heshima, utaheshimiwa. Ukiwa mtu wa kupeana, nawe utapewa. Ukiwa wewe ni wa kudharau wengine, utadharauliwa. Ukiwa wa chuki, malipo ni yale yale. Ikiwa wewe ni mtu wa haramu, vile vile itakupata tu. Na kama wewe ni mtu wa kushauri kwa hekima,
kupata heshima